welcome back to a new video. In today's video I'm going to be doing a set of doornails. Well, one doornail, and it's just a set of nails. So I got these mini hinges off Amazon, just Amazon, and you get the little hinges and you get the little nails, but I think they're for like dolls' houses and stuff. But what I'm going to do is I will link them down below for you to have a look at from Amazon. Yeah, the link will be in the description box. This is them. They're absolutely tiny. I think they're about 0.8 of a centimetre high, by the way. Day 4 of the nails, and they're still on. But this, I filmed this a couple of days ago, so I just love the gel polish. Right, look, hinge. It's a properly functioning hinge. 3 nails. Oh no, right. These are a size 3, and this one that I've got, this bigger one, is a size 2. So the one that's the size 2, I planned to go on top of the size 3 to be the door. You're going to need these vintage key decals from Nail Sugar. They just fit in perfectly with this set, in my opinion. Oh, it's true. And this is me putting this size 2 tip on. I think this is where I thought I fluffed up. I thought I put a size 2 tip, a size 3 tip on a size 3 tip. Hang on, I don't know. Anyway, look, I'm using one-way ticket and we're on a break for the wooden door. I've done something like this before, something similar to this before. I just find this a really easy way to do a kind of wood effect nail. So I've put that first coat on. This is the lighter brown, obviously. This is kind of like a beige. This second coat, don't cure it, okay? You're going to put a little bit of the darker brown on the palette. And then into the uncured gel polish, you're going to put some lines down the nail. So I guess the more you put on, the darker the wood will be, but you don't need to put masses. Okay, I'm going to leave it like that. And then you are going to need an ombre brush, because we're going to use this to create to start creating the wood grain. I'm just going to take some of that excess off my brush before I carry on. But what you want to do is just move the brush upside down, and then you can start wiggling it, and kind of as you wiggle it, that's sort of when you start to get the wood grainy kind of look. Like, you know, the wood has knots in it. Is that the technical term? Knots. And if you just, yeah, and you can just sort of, don't over faff though, because you'll end up with the colours completely mixing together to create a colour that's somewhere in between the 2 colours that you've used. I'm going to leave it like that. I think that looks pretty wood-like. That's going to go in the lamp. Oh, I also decided to add a bit more of the darker gel polish to make the wood grain, but it doesn't, I'm not focused, so I don't know that you can see it very well. So I think I may skip forward a bit because it's just pointless. Right, so here we are. I'm going to use the gold chrome gel paint to look at the bubbles. You have to pop the bubbles. Pop, pop. You know, some people don't like looking at things with loads of holes in. I was never one of those people, but I think I am now one of those people, because things with lots of holes in actually really freak me out now. And I'm not sure where this freaky outiness had come from. But yeah, lots of holes is weird. It's weird. I can't cope with it anymore. Anyway, I'm now creating the gold hinges on the door. I don't know if this gold gel paint is tackless, tack-free. I don't know. But I'm going to, I think it is. Oh, I need to yawn. Oh, it's officially 12 minutes. No, it's not. It's officially 22 minutes past 12. Lunchtime, basically. I've been up since the early hours because I went jogging this morning. It was a jogging day. I think I'm on week 6 of Couch to 5k. It was a right struggle this morning. I don't know if it is because of like hormones or what, but it was difficult, but I got it done. It's hot as well at the moment. Look, we've done our little hinges. We're going to pop that in the lamp for a cure, and then we're going to top coat. I'm going to top coat using the matte, not the potato. What's going on? I can't speak very well. I think it's because I'm tired. I'm going to top coat using the matte top coat, because wood is... Actually, you can get shiny wood. I'm going to do it matte. But because I wanted the hinges shiny, I'm going over the hinges with no white top coat. But that was just because I'm a silly Billy. I'm going to... Hang on. Right, yeah, look, I've got some rubber base. I'm not quite sure Anyway, right, I'm going to put some rubber base on one of these size 3 tips. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hinge onto the rubber base, and we're going to cure the hinge into the rubber base on that nail. I'm going to use my Rachel Wilder's mini lamp. This is great for flash curing if you do like crystal placement and stuff and projects like this. This little lamp is amazing. I love it so much. Okay, so I'm going to hold that on, and then I'm going to zap it with the, like, I was right on the button and I was like, where's the button? Numpty. Right, there we go. Give it a quick flash cure, and then once it is flashed, you can stick it in the lamp for a full 30 seconds. Then for some weird reason, I decided to go over the entire nail with the rubber base. I'm not quite sure why. And then I went over the nail again with a different colour of rubber base, like a white one, which was even more, I don't know why. And then I was like, why am I doing this? Just use hard gel. So I grabbed my Rachel Wilder's Finesse Hard Gel in shade Soft White. I feel like I'm doing a makeup tutorial. This is in shade Soft White. Anyway, shut up, Nats. Right, I'm just going to go over with a wet layer, thin layer that's a wet layer, that's a slip layer. What is up with me, Nats? And then I'm going to go over it with some more. Now, at this point, this is where you're going to want to create like your apex and stuff. I am not going to worry too much because I am not putting this on a real person. I do, however, want to make the nail nice and smooth. I don't want that hinge to be poking up. I want it to be nice and flush. So I'm putting enough product on to cover the hinge. Make sure you see the bit of the hinge that moves, you don't want to be covering that with gel, otherwise it won't open and close. So do be aware of that. That's going to go in the lamp for 60 seconds. Then I'm going to wipe off the tacky layer, and I'm going to give it a file. Now this is going to be tricky if you're doing this on a real person because you've got the hinge in the way, but I'm not, so it's okay. Wipe off the dust, and then we can start our design. See, look at that. I'm like, this is going well so far. This video, by the way, took me 90 minutes. Right, oh, I've got Witch's Night, Live Colourfully, Healing Glam, and Ready Set Ski. So those are the colours that I'm using. Yeah, this video, before I edited it, was 91 minutes long. And this morning I was just like, I was supposed to edit it yesterday. This was supposed to be up yesterday. I just couldn't bring myself to edit the video. It's, I just, you know, I mean, normally my videos are usually around about 50 minutes to an hour. But when it was like 90 minutes, I was like, this is just going to take me so long. I didn't have the willpower or anything this morning, but I got it done. We got there. I'm using a sponge. I have cleaned the sponge. I dabbed it on a bit of sellotape to get rid of any like hair and stuff. And yes, this sponge is dirty because it's one that I have used previously, but I tried to get as much of the gel polish out as possible, and I've left it, and I haven't used it for probably weeks. But yeah, it's still reusable. I don't even know what I've done with it. I think I threw it away actually. I bought loads of these sponges. I bought loads of new ones so that I can, you know, I can just throw it away and start again. But you can get a lot of the gel polish out if you want to. And yeah, and I'm sure you can reuse them. It's just a bit of a fiddle. So for our sunset, I've gone with the blue, then the kind of lilac, and then the orange is where the sun will be. And then the dark purple is, I googled purple sunset nails, and this really nice purple sunset photo came up. I think it must have been like, not CGI, or yeah, AI, you know, it wasn't a real sunset, but it looked lovely. So these were the colours it used, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to work with that. Now at this point, you might sponge over the hinge, but it's okay because you can like wipe it off. But yeah, you obviously want to get right up to the edge of the nail. Don't worry about the bottom bit because we can just fill that in later. This is me just wiping off the gel polish on the hinge. I'm going to sprinkle it with some acrylic powder. And if you don't have acrylic, if you have a clear dip powder, you can use dip powder if you want to. But just go over the whole nail. Pop it in the lamp, tap it off, and then pop it in the lamp. And then when it comes out, you're going to have to dust that off. And then you're just going to repeat the process. If you need to, you can add more gel polish onto your sponge. But if you don't, then that's great. So this is my second coat. I will again go over this with the acrylic. I do try to get the gel polish on the bottom as well. I don't know, I think I do it on this layer. Like I want to cover the bottom of, yeah, there we go. I tried to cover the bottom of the nail as well, just because why not? And I do this a lot until I'm quite happy with what the blend looks like. And then I will sprinkle it with the acrylic after I have just cleaned off that hinge again. I wanted to make sure that it's still moved. This, I would suggest using a hinge that moves quite freely. This one was a little bit, initially I thought it would be better to use one that was a little bit stiff. I'm not quite even sure why I thought that. Don't use one that moves freely, like wiggles quite freely, because it's easier. Right, we've dusted off the excess acrylic, and then I'm just going to add one more coat of gel polish, but I'm not going to sprinkle with acrylic because I want a tacky layer. This is, oh, this colour is actually perfect yellow. So the dark purple is supposed to be the land or the sea. Yeah, the sea, sorry. So I'm going to create like a sun, the sun. So it looks like it's setting. Or is it rising? What? Rising, I don't know. And then we're going to use the orange, the Live Colourfully orange, to just add some detail around the sun. So you're going to kind of go across the sun a little bit like that. Now these could potentially be cloud. They are clouds. They are clouds, because otherwise they wouldn't cover the sun. Yeah. And once you're happy with how your sun looks, S-U-N, you can shove it in. I don't know why I spelled out sun then. You're just weird, Nats. I know, but I do it so well. Pop that in the lamp for 30 seconds. Oh, by the way, this whole design thingy, the first person to do this, I think, was Lisette Cruz. So I wanted to credit her because I've seen other people do it, but I think she was the original one to do it. I think. But I'll link her Instagram down below so you can go and have a look. Right, now I'm using Nail Sugar's decals. These are the palm tree silhouettes. You can save 10% on Nail Sugar items using my code NATMUG10. Yeah, I'm going to stamp this on. So I just put the decal upside down on the stamper, and then you just moisten the back with some water. And then, like, after several seconds, the backing comes off and you can stamp it where you want it. I wanted you to still be able to see the sun. So it kind of like the tree hangs over the sun, which I quite liked. Then I'm going to add some black at the bottom. So this is going to be the actual land that the tree is on. And then before I cure that, I'm going to add the clouds. So I'm using that same lilac to create the clouds. I'm going to do 2 coats. So this is just going to give me a guide as to where the clouds are going to be. I'm going to put some more over the up here. We're going to have some more up here. So I'm going to give that a quick cure. Then I'm going to do another sort of dab of lilac. I was going to say orange. That's clearly not orange, Nats. Pop that in the lamp. Then we're going to add the orange. But the orange we're only going to add underneath the clouds. So the sun is like, you know, upwards at the bottom of the cloud. You know, pop that in the lamp. Then I'm going to, what is this one? Matte top coat this one. You can leave it shiny. If you're a shiny person, you leave it shiny. I just prefer matte generally, but there are cases when shiny should be used, but just do whatever you want. Okay, right, now comes the tricky part. Oh, this, I tell you what. By the way, this is not practical in any sense. This nail, it's not practical at all. But it's a nice idea if you want to do like competitions, you know, it's something interesting and, you know, so, you know, or you just want to have a play. It's something fun. So I had to get a bit of backing foam to put between the nails so that I didn't get the base coat on the bottom nail. And I cured it from this side. And then I opened it out and I cured it from the inside. And then I put some more on and I think I cured it in the lamp for 30 seconds. And now we've got a door. And it was wonky, so I did pull it off and do it again. I couldn't bear it wonky, I'm sorry. Okay, I can't see what I'm doing now because I am right down the bottom. Oh, I think I went over with, yeah, I went over with some rubber base. I'm like, oh, man, what is up with me and rubber base? So this bit here, we are just creating the same thing that we've done on the top. Like, if you don't want to, I suppose you don't even have to do anything on the inside of the nail. It just looks neater, I suppose, or more finished if you do something. So I'm trying to just create the wood grain on the inside, and I couldn't be bothered to sort out the hinge on this side. If I was to do this again, I probably would have used a more opaque light brown because it would have covered the hinge more, but it doesn't matter because this is just a tutorial. It's not actually, well, you know, whatever. I just don't know. Now I'm going to use Nail Sugar's Vintage Key Decals. Don't forget you can save 10% on these using my code NATMUG10. I love these so much. They're so good. We're going to do 2 nails. Exactly the same. So again, decal when you stamp up, moisten it, slide off the back in. By the way, ignore that purple nail. That purple nail does not come into the set in the end. This one I decided to go over the back of the decals with the white just to help brighten up the decal. It makes the colours pop. But if you are going to go over the back of the decal with gel polish, make sure you do the gel polish nice and thin, and you also have to cure it before you stamp it onto the nail. So I'm going to stamp this on. Boop. There we go. And then we're going to do this twice. So this design we're going to do twice, but we're going to add quickly some matte top coat. Oh, I got neck ache. I bet you're in some pain the size of that, Ed. That's what my dad would usually say. Now we're using the black gel paint to make a little keyhole. So you just put a dot and then you just make a light little rectangle underneath. But yeah, I mean, it's tiny. There you go. Pop that in the lamp for a cure. And then we're going to use the gold gel paint, the gold chrome gel paint, to make it look like the keys dangling. And again, that's going to go in the lamp. The gel paints take 60 seconds from Madam Glam. The gel polishes take 30. And you can save 30% off Madam Glam using my code NATMUG30. Right, these are the crystals. Look at check out my amazing camera skills. Look, I mean, you can't beat that. That is just top class. So this crystal mix is called the Autumn Zest Crystal Mix. I'll try and put a video on here so you can see what it looks like because the crystals in here are lovely. These are available from Crystal Parade and you can save 10% using my code NATMUG10. I really hope this crystal mix is available because the Cozy Nights one, I don't know if that's available yet, but I hope it is. Otherwise, I don't think Poppy knows yet, but she'll tell me off. Don't tell Poppy, please. Anyway, I really like the colours of these crystals and I felt they went really well with the colours from the key decals. So before I added the crystals to the nail, I just had to play around on the back of my flip tray with the crystals and the actual placement of the crystals. So all I'm doing is I'm using my Rachel Wilder's Crystal Fix to adhere the crystals onto the nail. And as I go through this, I do flash cure just so that it keeps them all in place because sometimes those bigger crystals do like to have a little wander, and half the time you probably find yourself chasing after some crystals, you know, while you're trying to place other ones, and it's just a little bit awkward. But you know, you do whatever you feel comfortable with. But I'm gonna leave it like that. I'll give it a 60-second cure. Look at the colours, I love them. And then I decided that I was going to add some gold caviar beads just to finish it off, but I'm going to do that off camera. And then I like to just wipe over with some isopropyl alcohol and it just makes them really shiny, even though they're really shiny anyway. But if you use a wax pencil, that will remove any wax residue from the crystals. I also added 2 little crystals on each of these key nails, and this is then finished. It took me ages. Please like this video. Just leave me a comment saying nice one or something. I don't know, whatever. But don't forget to also subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Look at that horrible hinge. Ah! God bless. Love you all. I will see you in the next one. Also, I'll leave the websites and everything down below for you. So yeah, right, I'm off. Love you, bye.